Hello, everyone. Welcome to another grand episode with Nishad from Movies, Music, and Memories. This is your host here. And of course, we've got our guest Nishad back again after two epic episodes on Santhosh Narayanan. Again, I reiterate that this episode, we sent it to the man himself and he appreciated our effort and Nishad's analysis on the songs. And then we did a deep dive into some of Ramesh Vinayakam's songs and his filmography, which went really well. So today we have another episode where, of course, Nishad had launched his single Vaanmugil, and to read out his tweet yesterday, yeah, happy to share that my song Vaanmugil has been submitted for the Grammy Awards for the Best Global Music Performance category. Grateful to everyone who was part of the project and all those who have supported my journey so far. Reading this tweet, I was so happy because I know Nisha just from Twitter, and we have connected like so well. And of course, the common topic is music, and he has immense music knowledge in terms of technicalities and what goes beyond the song and everything. Evlo sonalo adu kammida. So let me not waste much time. Let's get into knowing more about Van Mugil. And first of all, Nishad, welcome to the show. And how is your feeling now after your song is almost selected for the Grammys?
Hello. Firstly, thank you so much for having me again. நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி the past two episodes on Santhosh Narayanan and Ramesh Vinayakam's music were really fun, and for me now to be on this podcast is my great pleasure. So thank you. To answer your question about the Grammy, so ஒன்னு clarify பண்றேன். I think a lot of people were kind of confused about what it means to be submitted. So basically, மூணு stage இருக்கு essentially. The first stage is submission, second stage is nomination, and third stage is winning. But submission வந்து it's not just like ஒரு வெப்சைட் போய் அந்த ஃபைல் ட்ராப் பண்ணி உள்ள போட்டேன்னா சப்மிட் பண்ணியாச்சு. அந்த மாதிரி இல்லாம you have to get a recommendation from a jury member. So I was lucky enough to ஒரு அந்த ரெக்கார்டிங் அகாடமி அந்த கிராமியோட official குரூப்போட jury member one person வந்து had recommended my song, and அதனால I was able to submit my song for nomination. So in the
Amazing,
stage
amazing.
தாண்டித்துனா, yeah, it will be
Excellent.
nominated.
And to all the listeners, I'm really sorry I have a little bad throat, but I wanted to get this episode going. So I really, what to say, I want to apologize. My voice is sounding very odd, but I was so excited that I had to record this episode with Nishad as soon as this came out. And of course, this is one episode which we've been pushing back and forth, but finally we're doing it. Let's not waste much time. Let me just get into the first question. So, Nishad, how did the idea for this song generate? Like, what is the gem? See, your first song, Manasre, was released almost a year back. So I see that you took almost a gap of 1 year. So why this gap, and how did you fix this particular genre of a slow-paced romantic song? Like, if you hear the song, it's got a lot of instrumentation to it, a lot of orchestral background with great vocals of uh, Sreekanth Hariharan, Shashaa, and Anjana, who's your sister. So how did you, I mean, how did the idea of the song originate? Like, when did you say, I'm going to make one Mugin? And can you just throw some light on that?
Actually, the answer பண்றதுக்கு முன்னாடி, can I ask you a question?
I hope it's not something which will test my memory,
No,
but you can
not
ask.
at all, not at all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And there's no correct or wrong answer. So
Yeah,
என்ன
yeah, please,
தோணுதோ
please.
சொல்லுங்க.
Sure, sure,
You
definitely.
describe the song as a slow-paced romantic number. எது வச்சு romantic numberன்னு சொன்னீங்க?
I just by the lyrics, it just felt
Okay.
like a very romantic song. And it's like, for me, when I heard it, I was like, it's like someone, you're missing someone, or you're singing it to someone special. Another a romantic song. The
Okay.
lyrics, just by the lyrics. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You can throw more light on it. And what's your perspective of the song? Of course, the originator only has to tell it.
இல்ல. The reason why I asked is because each person, நான் கொஞ்சம் open-ended தான் வச்சிருக்கேன் இந்த பாட்டு. So each person kind of has their own interpretation. So I was just curious to know, நீங்க
It's a good
எப்படி
thing, right? You
view
can't put
பண்ணீங்க?
your song in one genre, which is a very good thing. You can't categorize it. Yeah, win-win.
So
Yeah, solunga.
yeah, so to answer your first question about எப்படி இந்த kind of song வந்தது, when did I decide to kind of pursue this project? So நீங்க மனசு மென்ஷன் பண்ணீங்க, which was my first song. It was an instrumental song with the music video.
Yes.
So அதுல my kind of aim was, okay, ஒரு வார்த்தையும் சொல்லாம எப்படி ஒரு ஸ்டோரி கன்வே பண்ணலாம். ஸோ அந்த பாட்டு கேட்டு மெயின்லி அந்த மியூசிக் வீடியோ பார்த்தீங்கன்னா there's a whole kind of story narrative to it. அண்ட் மியூசிக் வந்து அந்த எமோஷனல் ஜேர்னி ஃபாலோ பண்ற மாதிரி போயிட்டு இருக்கும். ஸோ ஐ பிகேம் ரியலி இன்ட்ரெஸ்டட் இன் திஸ் ஐடியா ஆஃப் மியூசிக் மூலமா ஸ்டோரி சொல்றது அண்ட் யூசிங் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஜான்ராஸ் அண்ட் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் மூட்ஸ் டு கன்வே த கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஆர்க் இன் த ஸ்டோரி. ஸோ ஒரே பாட்டுக்குள்ள ஒரு அந்த ஸ்டோரியில ஒரு பீஸ்ஃபுல் மூமெண்ட்னா பாட்டும் பீஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கும். பட் அந்த ஸ்டோரியில ஒரு இன்டென்ஸ் மூமெண்ட் வந்துன்னா அந்த பாட்டும் இன்டென்ஸ் ஆகும். அண்ட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் cramming all that into one song. And the concept I was very interested in. And அது came from one of my mentors னு சொல்லலாம். There's an indie musician named P. Prasanna. கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்களா தெரியாது.
Yeah, I've heard of the name. I don't remember a song, but the name is very familiar.
Yeah, so அவரோட if you want after this episode, listeners எல்லாரும் please listen to the song கண்ணில் மழை by B. Prasanna.
Okay.
YouTubeல போட்டா வரும்.
Okay.
ஸோ அந்த பாட்டு கேட்டிங்கன்னா யூ கேன் டெல் தட் ஒரு செக்ஷன் வந்து இட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் டெல்ஸ் அ ஸ்டோரி, டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பார்ட்ஸ் ஆஃப் அ ஸ்டோரி. ஒரே பாட்டு ஒரே மூட்ல கண்டினியூ ஆகாம ரொம்ப டைனாமிக்கா இருக்கும். ஸோ அந்த கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஐடியா இன்ஸ்பயர்ட் மீ அ லாட். திஸ் ஐடியா ஆஃப் ஒரே பாட்டுக்குள்ள நிறைய ஜான்ரஸ், த்ரூ டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஜான்ரஸ் ஒரே பாட்டுக்குள்ள ஒரு ஸ்டோரி சொல்ற மாதிரி. ஸோ ஐ ட்ரை டு டூ தட் வித் மனசு. அண்ட் இந்த வான்முகில் ஐடியா வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறமா கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ட்ரைங் டு டூ தட். வான்முகிலோட ஃபர்ஸ்ட் கைண்ட் ஆஃப் ஸ்பார்க் வந்து it was very வியர்டான டைம்ல வந்தது. I was walking from college. I'm a college student, by the way. I was walking from college back to the train station. அப்போ நடக்கச்சு திடீர்னு எனக்கு ஒரு மெலடி வந்தது. ஸோ உடனே என் ஃபோன் எடுத்து நடந்துருக்கேன், என் பாச வயசுலாம் இருக்காங்க. ஸோ இட்ஸ் வெரி ஆக்வர்ட். பட் என் ஃபோன் இப்படி வாய் பக்கத்துல வச்சுட்டு நான் ஹம் பண்ணிட்டேன். இட்ஸ் வெரி காமன். எனி மியூசிஷியன் வில்
Yeah, yeah.
அந்த ஐடியா மறக்க கூடாதுன்னு will
Yes,
immediately
yes, correct.
pull out our phones to record.
Nice.
So அப்போ அந்த மெலடி வந்தது. and I was அந்த டைம் I was listening to a lot of slow jazz. So artists சொல்லணும்னா people like Tony Bennett, Chet Baker, Miles Davis, இந்த மாதிரி 60sல பாப்புலரான what they call cool jazz.
Yeah.
So ஜாஸோட ஹிஸ்டரி பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 40s 50sல there was something called bebop. BBOP. Bebop வந்து is very fast paced. And that's great in its own way. But அதுக்கான ஒரு கவுண்டர் மூவ்மெண்டா this kind of opposite slower version of jazz emerged through people like Chet Baker and whatnot. So இவங்க பாட்டு எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்சு போச்சு in this stage in around 2022. So நிறைய for weeks on end இவங்க பாட்டு கேட்டிருந்தேன். So அந்த வான்முகில் ஐடியா வச்சு my mind kind of went to this slow jazz kind of mood. So that was kind of the spark, I guess. So அங்கேருந்து yeah, across the next few months I worked on developing the idea and things like that. But yeah, நீங்க அந்த முதல் spark பத்தி கேட்டீங்க. So yeah,
Yes.
to answer that question, it was just a random moment. But அந்த mood I was in, நான் நிறைய அந்த slow jazz பாட்டு கேட்டிருந்ததுனால I think my mind went in that direction.
Okay, so just to ask, so in the genre, in the song, so now should we say slow jazz, or you have a specific name for it? Just to give it a genre or what category the song falls in. You can mix it up and tell, or whatever it is, whatever is your idea.
இல்ல I found it very Spotifyல பாட்டு சப்மிட் பண்ணுச்சு. It asks you what genre it is.
Exactly.
And அப்போ ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டேன் என்னையா சொல்றதுன்னு.
Did it give you multiple options?
I think I was allowed, like அவங்களே ஒரு மேபி ஒரு 20 ஆப்ஷன்ஸ் கொடுத்துருப்பாங்க. I don't know,
Okay, so
roughly. Yeah.
okay, if you just remember, okay, forget about all that. What do
Uh,
you feel is the genre of this song? Just what is running in your mind now?
ஒரு வார்ட்ல சொல்லணும்னா maybe orchestral.
Orchestral, exactly. That's where I felt
ஏன்னா
because the
jazz
song is
வந்து it starts off jazz, but in the jazz it goes away from that
yeah, yeah.
பாதியில இருந்து. So
Yeah, for me, the highlight of this song is I think all listeners will send you the link of the song, of course. And for those who have heard it, you will know it's very, very rich on orchestration. You got violin, you got a lot of instruments, and that brings me to my next question because the song is it has singing, but it's got a rich orchestration feel to it, and some amazing artists have played, and it's an experience. The song for me, I was like blown away the first listen, and with each listen, இது வந்து ரஹ்மான் ஏஆர் ரஹ்மான் my favorite artist only, we give that credit saying each listen we explore the song more, we keep liking it, and till date it's been ruling my playlist somehow or the other. YouTube la open because I'm following Nishad, and I just go see Vaanmugil, I play it, and the video is amazing. It's a very, very beautiful song. So listeners who haven't heard it, check it out. So my next question is, so Nishad, I did see your reel on Insta about your first time experience conducting music with the Budapest Scoring for Strings and Tokyo, I hope I'm pronouncing it, Kosei Wind Orchestra, TKWO, for brass and woodwinds. So could you share some of your best moments and challenges per se when you were working with them? And you did mention about being nervous as a musician. So how did you overcome this nervousness and challenges and maintain on focusing on getting the song the way you wanted it?
yeah, so I'll answer your question in two parts.
Yeah.
முதல்ல புதாபெஸ்ட் பத்தி பேசுறேன், அதுக்கப்புறம்
Yes.
டோக்கியோ கோசே இதை பத்தி பேசுறேன்.
Yes.
um
Yeah.
Budapest was more straightforward. ஏன்னா Budapest scoring வந்து நிறைய நம்ம ஊரு கம்போசர்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ற ஆர்கெஸ்ட்ரா. So அந்த ப்ராசஸே if you have your parts and the string parts எல்லாம் எழுதியாச்சுன்னா, after that the process is very simple. ரொம்ப அஃபோர்டபுளா பண்றாங்க as well. நிறைய மற்ற ஆப்ஷன்ஸும் பார்த்துருந்தேன், but they were kind of out of budget எனக்கு. And this was surprisingly affordable actually சொல்லணும். 40 பேர் வாசிக்கிறாங்கன்னு சொல்லிச்சு, I kind of budgeted a bit more, but
Yeah.
luckily இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் affordable இருந்தது. And yeah, they've done so many in the மாதிரி recordings
Yeah.
and things like that. So I mean, அவங்களோட quality பத்தி there's zero doubt. I think this was also my first time arranging for a live orchestra. So அந்த விதத்துல there was a lot of learning, and I think இப்போ கூட அந்த வான்முகில் ஃபைனல் பாட்டு கேட்கச்சு, I think I made some mistakes. சில இடம் ரொம்ப ஓவரா அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணிட்டேன். And first timeனால such mistakes are inevitable.
Yeah.
But அதெல்லாமும் ஒரு லேர்னிங் தான். So
that's okay, we'll not get into that. That's best known to you. It's fine, you just talk about the best parts.
Yeah, but it was really fun. அது வந்து நான் என் ஆஃபீஸோட மீட்டிங் ரூம்ல இருந்து ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணது, funnily enough.
Oh, okay.
So part-time job, I work at a advertising firm, and
nice.
Basically அந்த ரெக்கார்டிங் டைமிங் வந்து என்னோட ஒர்க் ஹவர்ஸ்க்குள்ள வந்ததுனால I just took a 1 hour break from work or meeting room போய் இந்த செஷன் இது பண்ணி, that's via Zoom.
Good. No, it's good. If you do a corporate job, the first thing they ask is, are you a multitasker? So you are proving you're on the right track. So
yeah,
you are a multitasker.
So yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, and the process was very seamless. That I guess the most challenging thing was on the recording slot it's 25 minutes.
Okay.
Which is actually very, very short. ஏன்னா அந்த musicians நம்ம first time in the music பார்க்குறாங்க, and you need to get perfect takes within 25 minutes. Or full orchestra, 40 பேர்.
So of course you had rehearsals, right? Of course you would have had rehearsals.
No.
Oh, it was just 25 minutes, and the and you give them the sheets or what they need to play, and that's done.
Yes, done.
So, Nishad, what happens? I mean, just a scenario. I mean, if it didn't come the way you wanted it, what is your plan B?
இன்னொரு செஷன் புக் பண்ணோம். No. I mean,
I
to be fair, so I said, in the orchestra, they're very experienced in the Mother recordings. So
yeah.
sheet music கொடுத்துட்டு, if they feel that, okay, உன்னோட மியூசிக் ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு, இந்த 25 minutes முடியாது, அவங்க நினைச்சாங்கன்னா, I think they'll tell you beforehand.
Okay. That's good.
So, அவங்களே, அங்க மேனேஜர் இருக்காங்க, அவங்க, they check everything beforehand and make sure it's doable. So yeah, I don't think that was a huge risk or anything, but கொஞ்சம் டைட்டா தான் இருந்தது. I remember last ஒரு bit I just wanted to re-record ஒரு சின்ன 30-second phrase. So I was like, at the end of the session, I was like, do you have an extra minute னு கேட்டேன். அந்த மேனேஜர் வந்து ஸ்ட்ரிக்டா, you have 30 seconds னு சொன்னார்.
Okay.
See, in the section, quick. Hi, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, nice. Yeah, if you see the video, you see a glimpse of Nishad doing the entire orchestration like this. Like that portion, like, wow, like amazing.
அது
Like,
Tokyo.
oh,
Budapest, I
okay.
was only attending on
Okay.
Zoom.
I meant the entire video. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice feeling.
But you mentioned Tokyo, so I'll go there.
Yes. Yeah.
So let me explain this. Orchestra audio record பண்ணச்ச, there's two types of kind of sessions. One's called a shared session. So shared sessionல என்ன நடக்கும்னா, ஒரு ஆர்கெஸ்ட்ரா வந்து ஒரு ரூம்க்கு வருவாங்க, and they'll just sit there for a whole day, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. என்னமோ, and you just book a 30-minute slot. In 5 minutes வந்து warm up prep அந்த மாதிரி, so really 25 minutes, but you book a 30-minute slot. And அவங்க ஆல்ரெடி அந்த ரூம்ல இருக்கிறதுனால, the kind of number of players per instrument, the instruments that are used, அதெல்லாம் predetermined. So அந்த configurationல, அந்த arrangementல, if you're okay, then you can just book a slot in a shared session. So for example, உனக்கு ஒரு string session பண்ணோம்னா, and if you're just okay with the general normal string configuration, then ஒரு shared session book பண்ணலாம், which is what I did for the strings with Budapest. இப்போ brass and woodwinds வருச்ச, so brass is stuff like, trumpets, trombones, horns, woodwinds is stuff like flutes, clarinets, அந்த மாதிரி. அதுக்கு I wanted what's called a custom session. So custom sessionனா, உன்னோட செஷனுக்காக நீ டிசைட் பண்ண ஸ்பெசிபிக் நம்பர் ஆஃப் பிளேயர்ஸ் வந்து வருவாங்க. ஏன்னா I couldn't find a shared session that matched what I wanted.
Got it.
So brass and woodwinds வந்து I knew I needed a custom session. Now custom session வந்து, since they are coming for your recording and your recording only, it becomes more expensive. So நிறைய இடத்துல கேட்டு பார்த்தேன், probably or 15-20 places contact பண்ணி I was getting quotes and seeing what would work. And யூரோப்ல எல்லாம் நிறைய கான்டாக்ட் பண்ணேன், அமெரிக்காஸ்ல nothing worked, nothing was working. $5,000 கேட்டிருந்தாக்கா,
பட்ஜெட் வைஸ் ஹியூஜா இருக்கு.
ஆமா அதெல்லாம் முடியாது.
அதனால
I was really stuck after a point. அதுக்கப்புறம் I remembered என்னோட ஸ்கூல் டேஸ்ல நான் வந்து I played in this kind of brass and woodwinds ensemble மாதிரி.
Oh, nice.
And so அப்போ வந்து என்னோட ஸ்கூல் டீச்சர் வந்து, அந்த மியூசிக் டீச்சர் வந்து, she recommended me to listen to a certain ensemble called the Tokyo Kosei Wind Orchestra.
Oh,
when
nice.
I was 13, 14, 15-year-old underage.
Okay.
So அது ஞாபகம் வந்து, I had no idea whether they did sessions for composers or அவங்க concerts மட்டும் பண்றாங்களா. I had no idea. சும்மா அவங்க வெப்சைட் போய் ஒரு மெயில் ஐடி இருந்தது, ஒரு மெயில் போட்டு பார்த்தேன்.
சூப்பர்.
யார் அந்த
Uh,
அட்மின் எங்க இருக்கான்னு தெரியாம I was like ஓகே எந்த பாஷையில ஏறணும்னே தெரியல, இங்கிலீஷ்லயோ எழுதுவோம் ஜாப்பனீஸ்லயோ எழுதுவோம்னு சொல்லிட்டேன். ஏன்னா எதுவும் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் இல்ல லைக்
yeah.
ரெக்கார்டிங்ஸ் புக்கிங்ஸ் பத்திலாம். பட் சும்மா ஒரு மெயில் போட்டு பார்த்து ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணாங்க. And they were
Oh,
like,
nice.
we're happy to do this. And ஒரு கோட் கொடுத்தாங்க and it was a little expensive, but மத்த இது கம்பேர் பண்ணச்சு was much more affordable.
Yeah.
அதனால it worked out with Tokyo Kosei, and it was actually a full circle moment இருந்தது. ஏன்னா I said
Yeah.
7 or 8 years ago என் டீச்சர் வந்து இவங்க கேளுன்னு சொன்னது இப்போ அதே ensemble and recording for my own.
Exactly. Yeah. Like life's a
ஆமா
full circle. ஆமா.
ஆமா
Nice.
ஸோ
Yeah.
பட் அவங்க யூஸ்வலி ரெக்கார்டிங்ஸ்லாம் பண்ணாததுனால பிகாஸ் தேர் நாட் புதாபெஸ்ட் மாதிரி அவங்க இல்லை. ஐ திங்க் தர் மெயின் ஃபோக்கஸ் இஸ் ஆன் கான்சர்ட்ஸ். பட் ரெக்கார்டிங்ஸ் யூஸ்வலாக பண்ணாததுனால தே வர் லைக் ஓகே வி கேன் சப்ளை த பிளேயர்ஸ் பட் மற்றதெல்லாம் நீ பார்த்துக்கணும். ஸோ ஸ்டூடியோ நீ பார்த்துக்கணும், ரெக்கார்டிங் என்ஜினியர்ஸ் நீ பார்த்துக்கணும், கண்டக்டர் நீ பார்த்துக்கணும் அண்ட் ஆல் தட். ஸோ ஸ்டூடியோ அண்ட் ரெக்கார்டிங் என்ஜினியர் சும்மா ஒரு லோக்கல் ஸ்டூடியோ பிடிச்சி சார்ட்டட் அவுட். கண்டக்டர் தான் எனக்கு என்ன பண்ணுறதுனே தெரில. அண்ட் என் ஸ்கூல் சீனியரில் ஒரு ப்ரொஃபஷனல் கண்டக்டர் இருக்கார். ஸோ ஐ ரீச்ட் அவுட் ஸ்கூல் சீனியர்னா இன்னைக்கு லைக் 20 years older than me or something. பட் சும்மா மெயில் போட்டு பார்த்தேன். நான் வாஸ் லைக் எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி செஷனுக்கு ஐ நீட் அ கண்டக்டர், would you be willing? And அவர் ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணார். he was like I cannot because I'm out of town the recording date அன்னைக்கு. but then he was like கண்டக்டர்லாம் தேடாத, இது உன்னோட பாட்டு, உனக்கு தான் எப்படி பண்ணோம் தெரியும், நீனே கண்டக்ட் பண்ணு.
Exactly. Yeah.
And அந்த மெயில் படிச்சோன்னே I was like சரி நானே பண்ணிடலாமா.
நீதான்ப்பா மியூசிஷியன், உன்னோட பாட்டு நீதான் கண்டக்ட் பண்ணணும், சிம்பிள். உனக்கு தெரியும்ல, the idea in your mind translating into musicians playing, usually do it. Yeah.
பட் ஏன் எனக்கு முதல்ல ஹெசிடேஷன் இருந்ததுன்னா கண்டக்டிங் இஸ் நாட் ஈஸி. See, நிறைய பேர் கண்டக்டிங்க்கே they'll go to like college and get degrees.
Yes,
like அவ்வளோ படிக்கிறதுக்கு இருக்கு.
I've read about it. Yeah, it's a course. It's a career path on your own.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
conducting the music. Yeah.
So சும்மா மியூசிக் தெரிஞ்சதுனால you can't I mean, of course மியூசிக் தெரியுது helps, but that doesn't mean you can just go and conduct your own ensemble.
Get it.
And நான் அப்போ ஒரு காலேஜ் பையன் studying economics, conducting some of the greatest musicians in Japan.
No, it's okay. See, it's a challenge, but then to just go. Yeah, go with the flow. Simple.
And actually, if I'm being completely honest, and the session didn't go well.
Okay.
It didn't go well. Nariya in the part, it's very difficult in a lot of ways. Nariya tempo changes irukku, nariya mood irukku. And I don't think I was able to properly guide the musicians. So in the output கேக்கச்ச வீட்டுக்கு வந்தோன்னா output கேக்கச்ச some of the takes were actually unusable. Like it wasn't like கொஞ்சம் மோசம், it was like அஜிஷோ இது யூஸே பண்ண முடியாது மாதிரி இருந்தது. And I could tell it was because of me, என்னோட kind of inexperience, and just it was my first time, so
Yeah, that's okay.
So it was a great experience, but it was also a difficult experience, I won't lie. And actually on the session muchi, when I was going through all of the files, at one point I was like இது ஃபுல்லா யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாதோன்னு ஒரு கவலை வர மாதிரி இருந்தது. லைக் it was அந்த பாயிண்ட்க்கு வந்தது. எப்படியோ மேனேஜ் பண்ணிட்டோம். பட் it was a big learning curve for me. எப்படி இது பண்ணோம். And I don't foresee myself conducting இந்த மாதிரி பெரிய ensembles again anytime soon, but ஒரு big learning experience இருந்தது. And and it was good in a lot of ways, ஒரு பயங்கரமான எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸா இருந்தது. But it was also very nerve-wracking and quite difficult. ஏன்னா அந்த பிளேயர்ஸே at one point they were like இந்த பையன் என்னையா பண்றான்.
Okay.
ஏன்னா they're used to playing with professionals இல்ல.
Yeah.
So I overheard session முடிச்சோட I overheard one of the players saying இந்த மாதிரி எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் மறுபடியும் வராது. குழப்பி.
Yeah.
And the orchestra manager was very kind. She
Okay,
was like,
nice.
இந்த வயசுக்கு இந்த லெவல் ஆஃப் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ்க்கு you've done an amazing job. கவலைப்படாத.
Fantastic.
ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம்க்கு this is incredible. நீ இதெல்லாம் கம்போஸ் அரேஞ்ச் பண்ணது was incredibleலாம் சொன்னா, பட் எனக்கு உள்ள கொஞ்சம் it wasn't it was positive in a lot of ways, but there were also
So that explains the nervous part, which I said.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of two, I think, very different experiences with two orchestras,
Yeah,
but ultimately, ரெண்டு experiences were a huge privilege and a huge honor, and final part it turned out okay. So.
Yeah, so we spoke a lot about the orchestra and everything, but to mention the singers, first of all, Shashaa, Tirupati, who's my favorite. I was blown away when I heard Vaanmugil from Vignesh Day and all the song A Mr. Minor she sang for Yaruma. In fact, your own podcast episode with her, which is one of my favorites, where you discuss about her musical journey and everything. So how did you fix that? Sreekanth Hariharan, who's also a fantastic singer, Shashaa, Anjana, your own sister, will do a fabulous job for this song. They have already done, but how did you decide that they are the best suited for this song? Why do you think that their voice only is going to bring Vaanmugil, give that orchestra with the singers the effect?
Yeah, so Sasha was actually நான் அந்த பாட்டு முதல்ல ஐடியா வந்ததுன்னு சொன்னேன் இல்லைங்க, but 2 years ago அந்த ஐடியா முதல்ல வச்சு. I think even my voice memo might be titled Idea for Sasha.
Oh, okay.
முதல்ல I imagined Sasha's voice with it.
Yeah.
And the kind of husky, emotive, soft voice தான் தேவைன்னு தோணித்து இந்த பாட்டுக்கு.
Yeah, just to interrupt you, Rahman, one of the biggest credit is given for her is when he hears her voice, he is told that I think it sounds so magical that it really doesn't need any instrument or anything just to make the song. The voice is just enough to carry the entire song. Her voice has such magic in it. Is what Rahman has said about her voice. And I think it was truly magical in your song as well. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. But I think the so female side அதுக்கப்புறம் I'll talk about. Female side is more dominant in the பாட்டுல. So அந்த வான்முகில் அந்த முதல் melody idea வச்சு I was like, for sure Sasha. But as the song developed and on the ending section la vacha, it's a different texture that's required adukku. And rendu ideally I actually wanted both to be the same singer. And I think pona varsham May or June or something like that is when I first contacted Sasha for the song, and she was super gracious. Or then she was like, I'm happy to sing.
Yeah, she knows you. She's come as a guest on your podcast channel.
I mean, yes, but that was a one-off thing. It's not like we were in touch or anything like that. No episode panno adukapra pretty much pesave illa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Which is the case. Yeah. Which is the case for most.
But did she recollect that you have, of course, done the podcast with her? Yeah. That's what I was coming to. Yeah.
She remembered.
Yes.
But yeah, I was genuinely surprised she responded. எல்லாரும் அவங்க schedules இருக்கு. I didn't know, but
and for the listeners, Nishad's podcast page is called the Indoencers. So you can go check out. It's got some amazing episodes with a lot of singers, and it's some of the best episodes which I've heard. He goes deep dive into the singers' journey with their songs, everything. It's amazing. So do check it out. Yeah, go ahead, Nishad.
Yeah. So Sasha was immediately ரொம்ப ஓப்பனா இருந்தாங்க. But actually இது அவங்களே எவ்வளோ பப்ளிக்கா சொல்லியிருக்காங்க தெரியல, but she had a few kind of throat issues and other stuff.
Okay.
So ரொம்ப delay ஆயிடுச்சு. And it got to a
Okay.
point where record பண்ண முடியுமான்னு தெரியாம இருந்தது. September, Octoberலாம் I didn't know. So அப்போ I was like, okay, ரொம்ப wait பண்ண வேண்டாம். I didn't want to, just in case if it wasn't possible, அதுக்காக, I was like, or a date decide பண்ணேன். I was like, okay, in the date அப்புறம் if I don't know for sure it's possible, then we'll pivot to alternates னு சொல்லி அந்த டேட் தாண்டித்து. So now alternatives actually record பண்ண ட்ரை பண்ணேன். I won't mention names, but but it didn't quite work out. எனக்கு பிடிச்ச மாதிரி வரல. And as I said, in the ரெண்டு sections of the song ரொம்ப contrasting-ஆ இருக்கிறதுனால it was difficult to find a single voice that worked for both. அதுக்கப்புறம் I was like, okay, என் sister Anjana, என் அக்கா தான் டெமோ பாடினாங்க. And I thought she did a fine job.
Yeah, she was very good. I mean, she comes in the last part of the song and she runs the high pitches of the song. Sasha starts it like she sets the tempo with a slow melodious chant. She's the one who sets the tempo, but sister did a fantastic job.
Thank you. So and the demo in sister had sung the whole song, including the beginning.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, Seri, Mata singers la wakala. I think my sister has done a fine job. என் சிஸ்டர் ஃபுல் சாங் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணி அதுவே ரிலீஸ் பண்ணிடலான்னு சொல்லி ஒரு ப்ராப்பர் ஸ்டுடியோக்கு போய் என் அக்கா வாய்ஸ் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணிட்டு நான் மிக்சிங் காமிச்சிட்டேன் ஆக்சுவலி. அண்ட் திஸ் வாஸ் November, I think, of last year. And அப்போ I kind of thought Sasha would not be possible because of the kind of circumstances she was facing. And Anjana voice வச்சு அமிச்சிட்டேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் one fine day in December, Sasha reached out and said, sorry for the delay, but I can do it now.
Wow, nice.
Out of the blue message.
Very nice, yeah.
So எனக்கு ரொம்ப, I was very happy. So அதுக்கப்புறம் December end, Jan beginning அந்த ரேஞ்சில் ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணோம். It was very funny actually. She was in Vancouver. So like live recording la பண்ணல. She just gave me one take. ஒரு ஃபைல் மட்டும் அனுப்பிச்சாங்க. And
nice.
That file was perfect.
Yeah, it's all. I've read that in your music credits. The way where she's recorded, each singer where you recorded. I think you recorded Sreekanth in Chennai. All that, yeah.
Yes.
So it's the song has a lot of global connect. Yeah.
So yeah. But actually, எனக்கு ending section, I had Sasha sing it, but I actually felt Anjana's voice worked better.
Oh, nice. Good take. Good call.
So அதனால actually in the middle of mixing, நான் mixing engineer-க்கு I was like, okay, stop your work. நான் ஒரு புது set of vocals அனுப்ப போறேன். I'm going to merge Sasha and Anjana's voices together and we'll redo the process with that னு சொல்லி January-ல we kind of finalized that. So அது ஒரு kind of lucky coincidence தான் இருந்தது. It wasn't meant to be like that, but I think that's what worked ultimately. So yeah, output I think நல்லா வந்திருக்கு. Both Sasha and Anjana have done incredible in their respective portions.
A word about Sreekanth and how you approached him and how you thought his voice was good. Because he sang that Unakaga from Bigil really well. And how did you feel? I mean, that's one of my favorite songs. And how did you feel that he was also perfect as a male vocalist for this song?
Yeah, as you said, Sreekanth he sung so many beautiful songs. Unakaga's one. எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிச்ச பாட்டு வந்து சோஃபியானோ 99 songs.
Oh yeah, 99 songs. Yes.
That is like all-time favorite song மாதிரி. One of
beautiful song.
ஆமா, and singing is incredible. And actually எனக்கு ஸ்ரீகாந்த் தெரியாது personally. I had no kind of connection to him. சும்மா ஒரு mail போட்டு பார்த்தேன். He had his mail ID on his Instagram.
Nice.
சும்மா போட்டு பார்த்தேன். And then almost immediately I think he responded and he was like, yeah, we can do this. but he was also like, can we call Yena Yariani?
You
He
should,
didn't
yeah,
say
you should
that. He
think.
didn't say that.
I know,
But
no, you shouldn't think யார் நம்ம யாரா ட்ரோல் பண்றாங்களா சும்மா வேணே பாடுன்னு சொல்லி like that he might have thought இல்ல நம்ம ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸா யாராவது நம்ம கலாய்க்கிறாங்களா அந்த மாதிரி.
uh,
Nice. Then,
இல்ல, he just wanted to know who I was. அவ்வளோ
yeah,
டைரக்டாலாம் சொல்ல. I'm guessing what his mind voice would have been.
yeah.
பட் அப்புறம் எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்ணேன், சும்மா இண்டிபெண்டன்ட் ப்ராஜெக்ட் தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன். பட் ஐம் ட்ரைங் டு கிரியேட் த பெஸ்ட் பாசிபிள் ப்ராடக்ட் ஐ கேன். ஸோ உங்களோட ஹெல்ப், உங்களோட கான்ட்ரிபியூஷன் தான் சூப்பரா இருக்கும்னு. And he was actually initially a little bit worried, most of his songs are in the higher range.
ஆமா.
And in the parts on the lot of it are quite low. So he was like, are you sure என்னோட வாய்ஸ் ஃபிட் ஆகும்னு? And I was like, yeah, I'm quite sure. கவலைப்படாதீங்க அந்த மாதிரி. என்ன கான்ஃபிடென்ஸ்ல அது சொன்னேன் தெரியல. To the singer himself, but okay, ஏதோ it worked out and
No,
it
it's
was
magical. Amazing.
ஆமா.
I mean, the choice singers, brilliant, brilliant. So that takes me to my next question. So when I sent you the list of questions, the last one was, so you have done 2 singles till date. Any idea of making an album of say 5 to 6 songs? And last few days, you see, I've been following your posts. Chinmayi or photo, Sathya Prakash or photo, and then one recording with one full group. So Nishad, what's cooking? What's your next projects? And if you, I know it might be too early to throw a lot of light into it, but something for the listeners and something for me, because I pinged you saying, wow, Chinmayi is like one of my favorite singers, and I've just loved every song she's sung. And I think she's beautiful, including the latest Omana from RDG with them. So I'm just such a huge fan of her voice, and who's not, and what's cooking. So give us some light about it, and come on.
Yeah. So correct சொன்னீங்க actually, is there an album of 5 to 6 songs? Yes, almost exactly that actually. 6 பாட்டு இருக்கு
Yeah.
இந்த ஆல்பம்ல. It's
See, I have a
something
sixth
I've
sense,
been
bro. I have a sixth sense. Nishad, I have a sixth sense. I realized that you're going to make 2 singles. Come on, we're going to get 6 songs from Nishad. Something told me inside. And this was when I sent you the questions, you had only done Vaanmugil. And now, today, you're doing an album. Yeah.
So yeah, it's been in the works for a long time actually. எப்பவுமே these things aren't always planned. Vaanmugil கூட it wasn't like அந்த ஐடியா வந்தோடனே I was going to hire all these orchestras. அதெல்லாம் எதுவும் இல்லை. It just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
And in the album, I just had a couple of different song ideas. So சும்மா என் லேப்டாப்ல சும்மா விளையாடிருந்தேன். Since
Too
late.
early to name the album, or you can tell the name
There is a
for our
name,
listeners.
actually. There is a name. I can
Okay.
tell you. It's called Life Until 23.
Life until 23. Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So எனக்கு இப்போ
Nice.
22 வயசு. So the hope
Oh,
is that this album will be released when I'm 23.
great.
அதனால the album kind of chronicles my life in 6 different stages. More like 5 plus one song
Okay.
at the end.
Nice.
So ஒரு பாட்டும் kind of different mood, different period of life மாதிரி.
Wow.
Um,
Tentative date by when you plan to launch the album?
I don't
Or a
want to
tentative
commit.
date? Okay, okay. Nah,
2025.
I mean,
அது சொல்லலாம்.
great.
2025.
2025. Okay. It's a long wait, but of course, see, knowing me, I've been always telling I'm a big fan of the album. I'm the old school of 90s where Rahman, Trida Trida Rojana, you have the entire cassette with you and you explore all the songs, various genres, various singers, and you hear it at one go. And the concept of singles these days, like, yeah, you hear the song, then you want to hear it on loop, but then you want to hear more, right? You want to go next. And the album always gives you an opportunity to explore more, give more genres of songs. And I mean, again, song and music is a very individual perspective. So there might be a song which might attract someone when they hear all 6. They might like the third song and they may not like the first. And then when you keep hearing it again and again, 3, 4, 6 should have attracted. Then 1 and 2 comes. So album gives you that immense scope. So I'm really happy that from 2 singles you went to the big stage, and I just can't wait to hear it. So good, you revealed a lot of information about that. Anything more you want to tell about the album? about, say, your experience recording Chinmayi, Sathya Prakash, and maybe if you can just throw some light. Of course, there's no way I'm going to leave you. You're going to have a podcast again for this album. It's going to be our 2025 episode. I will never leave you. You know that. But if you want to throw some light now, so that just take a build up for that album, like just to keep the listeners excited,
Yeah,
including me.
sure. I can say a little bit about the album. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been already roughly at least on and off for 8-9 months I've been working on this. But I think Vaanmugil முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் I kind of started working more seriously. So நிறைய songs, உள்ள வந்து வெளில வந்து I think total in the albumக்கு I must have composed about 20-25 songs. Ultimately, only 6 of them are making it.
Wow, that means more albums to come. All this will be in your next few, illa? Wow.
பார்க்கலாம்.
Excellent. Yeah.
Can't commit to that, but
Yeah. No, keep it in your unreleased version. Someday, some thought comes, you can pull out from there and make many more albums. Nothing
yeah,
stops you from making just 1 or 2 albums. Don't stop with that.
yeah. Thank you.
Make 10, 20, 50, 100. Go on. Kill it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. So yeah, as I said, the concept of the album வந்து ஒரு பாட்டு kind of explores a different stage of life or a different mood. So என்னோட singles மனசு and வான்முகில் வந்து the aim was to tell a story within one song. இந்த album வந்து the aim is to tell a story within an album. So ஒரு single பாட்டுல it won't be so extreme in terms of genre differences and things like that, but on the album மூலமா it will go through various stages and kind of tell a story in that way. So yeah, நிறைய இருக்கு. There's funk, there's
Wow.
orchestral stuff, there's very old school classical பழைய காலம் எம்எஸ்வி சார், ராஜா சார், இந்த பாடறியே படிப்பறியே சிங்காரவேலனை அந்த ஸ்டைல்ல ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்கு.
Wow.
There's this jazz thing which Mohini Dey has played on as well.
Wow. Amazing.
Super. So yeah, அந்த ரெக்கார்டிங்ஸ்ல தான் கொஞ்சமா போயிட்டு இருக்கு. இன்ஃபேக்ட் I was in Chennai recently. இன்ஃபேக்ட் நேத்து தான் திரும்பி வந்தேன் back to Tokyo.
அந்த ஆல்பம் போட்டோ, அந்த ரெக்கார்டிங் செஷன்.
Yeah. So நிறைய ரெக்கார்டிங்ஸ் நடந்தது. I shared some of the photos on social media. எனக்கு போட்டோ எடுக்கிற இன்ஸ்டிங்க்டே இல்ல. So நிறைய போட்டோஸ் எடுக்காம அப்படியே போயிடுச்சு.
Yeah. You like focuses on the album. You want the quality to come out. Yeah.
So but yeah, as you said, Chinmayi ma'am, like I can't
legendary.
ஆமா, சீரியஸா லெஜெண்ட் தான். அவங்க வாய் திறந்தோனே it was just like
correct.
என்னையா சொல்றது மாதிரி இருந்தது.
Yeah, I know. Man, I was mind blown when I heard ஒரு தெய்வம் தந்த பூவே and like many songs.
Yeah.
Maya from Sarvam Thalamaya. So many I can just keep. Or Chinmayi, especially ஒரு episode பண்ணலாம் நிஷாத். It's one of our ideas for future, but man, she's too phenomenal voice. Yeah.
So I'm hoping அவங்க வாய்ஸ்க்கு ஃபிட் ஆற பாட்டுக்கு that's funnily enough actually ஒரு mutual friend வந்து had suggested முன்னாடியே, why don't you ask Chinmayi for Vaanmugil, but I felt that wasn't the right song.
Okay.
And அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு legendary figure ஓட வாய்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ண போறோம்னா I felt it had to be the right song.
Yeah. Interesting.
So அதனால இந்த ஆல்பம்ல I felt this one song her and Sreekanth have sung. It's a duet.
Oh, nice. Good.
This is a much more traditional romantic பாட்டு, but it kind of goes in different directions. ஒரு 6 நிமிஷம் பாட்டு. Starts kind of basic, but then goes into this qawwali, classical kind of thing. So nice. Yeah. But I felt that song really suited Chinmayi's voice. And I was lucky enough to have that connection or a mutual friend மூலமா to be able to reach out to her. So yeah, அந்த recordings சூப்பரா போச்சு. Sreekanth, I don't need to say he sung on Vaanmugil. He sung
Yeah.
brilliantly on this song as well. I think the one really interesting session I had was with Vijay Narayan.
Oh,
Vijay
okay.
Narayan, hopefully கேள்விப்பட்டிருப்பீங்க. He sung a lot of songs, especially for Santhosh Narayanan.
Yeah.
He's a fantastic singer. And
Yeah, yeah.
Avarna actually he's singing, the hardcore classical part too. I mean, hardcore classical in some time, but this kind of old school.
Yeah.
Avarna பாடியிருக்காரு actually in the
Yeah, I
part.
was lucky to witness him live in the Santhosh Narayan concert, which happened in Chennai this year
Oh, right.
in
Okay.
February. It was amazing, phenomenal voice. He sang that Sirikki Vasam from Kodi.
Right,
It was
right.
amazing. Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. So அவரோட kind of different. அவரே சொன்னது like I've never sung a song like this
Oh,
மாதிரி.
nice.
So it's really cool to explore a different side of his voice. ரொம்ப நல்லா வந்திருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
Beautiful.
We've only done the vocal recording so far. Arrangementsலாம் இனிமே தான் கொஞ்சம் இது பண்ணோம். But yeah, வேற என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கேன்? The fifth song is actually very special to me. I won't say too much, but it's kind of ஒரு journey போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் it's kind of like a culmination பாட்டு மாதிரி. So I've actually got some of my friends in Tokyo to sing.
Oh,
And it's kind of
nice.
about feeling at home and feeling peace in your life. And I was like, சரி அந்த மாதிரி பாட்டு பண்ண போறோம்னா it makes sense to do it with people you feel at home.
Yeah, beautiful. Nice theme.
So yeah, அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு பாட்டு இருக்கு. அப்புறம் yeah, again, I don't want to say too much. The final song is an instrumental, Mohini Dey. Patrick Bartley தரம் வாசிச்சிருக்காங்க. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he's potentially the greatest saxophonist on the planet right now.
Oh, okay.
He ரொம்ப very well regarded அவர்.
Okay.
And பயங்கர coincidenceல I got in touch with him. ஏன்னா he'd come to Tokyo. And என்னோட college classmate was his translator.
Oh, nice.
So
good coincidence.
ஆமா. Very, very lucky. So on the classmate மூலமா I was able to get in touch with him. And
nice.
Yeah. So yeah, இன்னும் நிறைய recordings still to come. So throughout the rest of the year அதெல்லாம் போயிட்டு இருக்கும். But I'm hoping to release it soon. Obviously commercialsலாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா நீங்க ஆல்பம் சிங்கிள்லாம் சொல்லியிருந்தீங்கல்ல.
Yeah.
There's a very simple reason why the single culture has become dominant. ஏன்னா அதுக்கு தான் people respond பண்றாங்க. அதுக்கு தான் views வருது, அதுக்கு தான். And I know, in an ideal world, you don't make music for views or anything, but and நான் ஒரு independent musician இருக்கிறதுனால, and since I'm, நான் செப்பரேட்டா ஒரு வேலை பண்றேன். I'm in a very kind of privileged family. நான் சாப்பாடு பத்தி வீடு பத்திலாம் கவலைப்பட வேண்டாம். So I'm in a lucky position in that sense.
Yeah.
But ஒரு film or ஒரு job or musician ஒரு professional musician ஒரு பாட்டு போடுறாங்கன்னா they need to make sure they earn money இல்ல. So they need to
exactly.
So they need to promote their song or release their song in a way which maximizes the reach.
Yeah.
And எனக்கும் ஓரளவுக்கு உண்டு தான். I can only spend so much on music.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Correct.
So, I'd love to release it as an album.
Yeah.
We'll see. அது எவ்வளோ realisticனு.
Yeah.
Obviously, in an ideal world, music video எல்லாம் பண்ணணும்னு ஆசை. வான்முகில்கே music video பண்ணணும்னு ஆசை. But again, budget and all.
You had it for Manas, right? You made like a theme.
Yeah. I mean,
it was a proper video.
என் வீட்டுல எடுத்தது அது.
It's okay. It's still shot of the video outside studio, but end of the day, it was shot like a nice theme kind of a song. Yeah.
அது ரொம்ப compared to these இப்பெல்லாம் பாக்குறீங்கல்ல இந்த think indie ஓட music videosலாம்.
Yes.
My music video was like 1% of that budget. So
it's okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just, இப்போதைக்கு my focus is, just getting the songs done.
Yeah.
அதுக்கப்புறம் எப்போ ரிலீஸ் ஆகுதும் கேட்டிங்க, it also depends on how I release it. லேபிள் மூலமா
Yeah.
ரிலீஸ் பண்ணோம்னா அவங்க ஸ்கெட்யூல்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கு.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just இப்போதைக்கு focusing on just making the best possible songs.
Yes, perfect.
And அதுக்கப்புறம் we'll worry about the
Yeah,
rest.
yeah. Just I think focus on getting the best song the way you want it, singer, orchestration. Next steps will come as it is, and when it comes, you face it and see what best you can do at that moment. That.
Yeah.
So I think on that note, it was an amazing episode. So we got to explore Nishad's work as a third episode with us. And of course, a lot more episodes to come, including all the songs which we discussed in the end part of the show. We just gave like a teaser to it, and I'm excited to have. I would love to do one episode for each of the 6 songs you mentioned, deep dive into it. Provided you have the time, I always have the time for you. And before we have your thank you and finishing note, I would again tell the listeners my voice is bad. You can go back. It's not my real voice. Just don't fall away for it saying that, oh God, Yarpa and the host are lovely. Go hear our first 2 episodes which we did. I thought it was okay. Today I have a bad voice, but I want to get this done because I was so excited for Nishad. And I just wanted to know his perspective, and I know him, like we are in touch offline always, but I wanted the audience as well to know how a musician decides a song, what goes into making a song, which of course was always something which I wanted to know as well. And so glad I put it on the podcast to know from a musician's perspective a lot of things, how he decides the orchestra, what is the idea, how it germinates, and how we get singers. So that was my intention. So thank you again, listeners, and signing off here, your host Vignesh. See you soon again, another episode from Movies, Music, and Memories. Before we hear Nishad says thank you, note.
Yeah, thank you so much. And just before I finish, Vaanmugil, I just want to quickly mention some of the other people that are
Yeah,
involved.
go ahead.
Um,
Yeah,
lyrics another musician has written actually, Rishi Keshavna. He goes by the
nice.
name Rishi K. He's actually a musician and singer composer himself. But in the Patka, I really felt his lyrical style fit well. And I think he is such a big part on why I think the song ended up turned out okay. Our part in our lyrics-னால தான் இந்த பாட்டுக்கு மீனிங்கே இருக்கு. So I didn't really know what the song meant when I first composed it. For example, நான் இன்னொரு பாட்காஸ்ட்லயும் சொல்லியிருந்தேன். இந்த பாட்டுல ரெயின் சவுண்ட் எஃபெக்ட் ஒரு இடத்துல வரும். I just put that in there ஏன்னா எனக்கு அந்த சவுண்ட் பிடிச்சது, but I didn't know what that meant in the context of the story. அதுக்கப்புறம் ரிஷியோட லிரிக்ஸ் வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் he gave that rain sound meaning. உண்மை தவிக்கின்றேன் முதல்ல வரும். அந்த ரெயின் சவுண்ட் வரைச்சே the lyric turns into என்மழையில் நனைகின்றேன். ஸோ அந்த லிரிக்ஸ்லாம் வச்ச சடன்லி த ரெயின் சவுண்ட் ஹாஸ் மீனிங். அண்ட் அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய இடத்துல இருக்கு. அந்த லாங் இன்டர்லூட்க்கு முன்னாடி இந்த லைன் இஸ் தொடர் கதை போலே, லைக் அ நெவர் எண்டிங் ஸ்டோரி, லைக் அ நெவர் எண்டிங் ஸ்டோரின்னு பொண்ணு சொன்னதுக்கு அப்புறம் ஒரு லாங் ஆல்மோஸ்ட் நெவர் எண்டிங் இன்டர்லூட் ஒன்று வருது. So I really want to give a special mention to him. He worked really hard on the lyrics. நிறைய revisions நான் பண்ணோம். So yeah, him. Also want to mention Abhay Nampalli, the person who did the guitar solo. ஒரு Carnatic flavorல ஒரு guitar solo பண்ணியிருக்கார். And that's his kind of main thing. He does Carnatic guitar. And I think அவர் அந்த சோலோ பண்ணதுனால தான் I was able to kind of visualize how that interlude would work. So அதை சுத்தி I kind of changed a couple of arrangements as well. ஏன்னா his solo kind of, the way he played it kind of inspired certain ideas. So அவர் and நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. I don't want to spend a huge amount of time, but Ashwin Raja, Ritu Isaac, Philip Keen on upright bass, Hiroshi Matsubara, who's my drums teacher actually. He's actually a very, very well-known drummer இங்க ஜப்பான்ல. He's played for a lot of top artists. And அவர் அவ்வளோ கிரேஷியஸா ஏதோ ஒரு பையன் his ஸ்டூடெண்டோட பாட்டுக்கு வாசிச்சது. He played on மனசு as well.
Okay.
He's played on 2 songs in my upcoming album as well. So அதெல்லாம் I'm super grateful. Did I forget anybody? I hope not. நிறைய பேர் இருக்காங்க. Kaustubh who did the full video edit. அந்த video edit ஒரு மாசம் 1.5 மாசம் ஆச்சு போல இருக்கு. Like literally dedicated to just doing the edit. We had thousands and thousands of videos. எந்த மோமெண்ட்க்கு எந்த ஷாட் ஃபிட் ஆகும் அதெல்லாம் கௌஸ்துப் தான்.
Nice effort. Yeah.
So yeah, lots of people. Sorry, நான் இப்போ off my top of the head சொல்றேன்.
Yeah. We can just say that if I didn't mention someone, they're even more special.
So yeah. And also, to anyone listening and to anyone who supported my journey, thank you. Not chumma, I'm just doing this because I love music. Music சம்பந்தமா I try to do different things. I do podcasts, I do videos. உங்களோட analysis episodesலாம் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். And more recently, I've gotten more serious in composing and things like that. So yeah, I mean, நிறைய talented musicians இருக்காங்க, composers இருக்காங்க, both in film and in independent scene. So yeah, definitely please keep supporting all of the musicians in the scene. And yeah, உங்க சப்போர்ட்னால தான் it feels worthwhile.
Yeah, absolutely.
மக்கள் கேட்கலனா even if it's 1%,
correct. We feel good. Yeah.
And actually, sorry, ending the solli, I'm going on and on. I want to give one special shout out to somebody named Shafi. அவர் வந்து I genuinely still don't know who he is. But Vaanmugil release பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் he reached out to me on Twitter. One fine day. என்னோட பாட்டு ரீபோஸ்ட் பண்ணி he was like, this is a wonderful song அந்த மாதிரி என்னமோ போட்டார். I was just like, thank you. அதுக்கப்புறம் he said, I imagine your song with the visuals of Tangled. Tangled is a Disney film.
Okay.
And then நான் படம்லாம் பார்க்க மாட்டேன், so I wasn't familiar with the film. But சும்மா ஒரு few in the trailers or photos அந்த மாதிரி பார்த்தேன். I could kind of see what he meant. So I was like, oh, okay, I haven't seen the film, but சும்மா ஒரு few clips and photos பார்த்தேன். I can see what you mean and the mood, whatever. அதுக்கப்புறம் he responded to that tweet saying, I wanted to get it out of my head and now I merged your song with the visuals of Tangled.
Beautiful.
So அது பண்ணி அமிச்சார். And I was so moved. அன்னைக்கு எனக்கு அழகே வந்துச்சு.
Nice.
I was ரொம்ப பியூட்டிஃபுல்லா பண்ணிருப்பார். It's publicly available actually.
Yeah, I think you had put it out on your Twitter page.
Yeah.
And then YouTube as well, right? You in your
YouTube
channel,
copyright நால தூக்கிட்டாங்க.
Okay. உங்க Twitter page இருக்கு. Yeah.
Vimeoல இருக்கு, but
nice.
That எனக்கு அந்த மாதிரி இது வரைச்ச. And சில பேர் கேட்டாங்க, இவ்ளோ எஃபர்ட் போட்டிருக்கேன், இந்த நம்பர்ஸ் ஆர் லோ, டஸ் தட் எஃபெக்ட் யூ அந்த மாதிரி. பட் இந்த மாதிரி லவ் வச்ச stuff like what Shafi did, and not just him, but நிறைய other people showered so much love. அந்த மாதிரி இது வச்சு I was like, okay, this is all worth it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not easy.
Yeah. No, it just shows that how much your song has moved some person and it's made him think something else, and he had to call it out and post a video and actually do the edit and do it. It means a lot. I think that's equivalent to 1 million views. Come on, we'll just give it to him. Numbers, end of the day, great songs also, many songs which won't have that many hits on YouTube. And I don't want to just call out and say all that, but it's okay. I mean, it's great. This kind of a fan, the reach, it made you emotional, it moved you a bit. That's what it is. Excellent.
Yeah. So yeah, அந்த மாதிரி, support means the world. I'm not asking everyone to suddenly start making edits, but I'm just saying,
They
uh,
spam you saying, "Hey, this one tangled. Okay, this one remind me of Tom and Jerry. This one remind me of hey, I got an idea in this one Kung Fu Panda is also." Just kidding. Anyway, we're not trolling the fans here. I mean,
yeah,
fans
yeah, yeah.
are everything, muckle. So yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
just want
just
to say, support means the world, and just in general, யாராவது, if you like someone's song, just message them.
just no,
It's
call it out. I think just put
Yeah,
it out.
it
I
feels
think
nice.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, just call it out saying I'm feeling special. It's a great
Yeah.
feeling. Express it. And I always say this, use social media in a positive way. And it's not always about putting someone down. Don't have to think that social media negatively sense. You're feeling good hearing anything, just post it out. Be public about it. It's very nice. Spread positivity, and music, movies itself is a very positive feeling. It has a very, very positive influence on me. When I'm a bit low or I just want some deviation, I just hear my favorite music or just book tickets and go to a theater and watch a movie. Nothing can match that. So it's ultimate. Just enjoy it. And Nishad, anything else more to say about Vaanmugil and anything else before we sign off?
Nothing else, I think. Again, thank
Okay.
you so much for this
I
opportunity,
love
for allowing me
always, as
to talk
always.
about the party. And yeah, uh, hoping the album gets done soon.
Yeah.
I'm working hard on it.
As
So
always, I'm always there. And from the first episode, I've called it out publicly saying there's always a collaboration between MMM and the Indoencers. This will go on forever till you're there, compose music. And I'll make sure that you take time from a busy schedule. I'll keep nudging you and get you on the episode because it's always interesting to know from a musician and understand music from a different perspective. And you always bring that to the table. Just so exciting and amazing to listen. So on that note, yeah, thank you, listeners, and see you soon again, another episode, Nishad.
yes, see you soon.